Rowdy, I got your picture up on the screen, opened up in Adobe Camera Raw. I see that this is a 5D Mark III, and as it is on the screen, appears to be the settings you used. And just looking at it, I mean, it's pretty cool, some of the settings that you chose and some of the things that you did. And it's actually pretty darn close. But here's a few things I want you to take a look at is how washed out they are and how washed out she is. I noticed that you got the recovery up around 74, 75. I think that should go a little higher to try to pick up and recover some lost highlights. Then I see you got your fill light all the way down, and take the brightness down until you start picking up some detail. Okay, before we start completely losing it. Alright, so those just were a couple of those were just minor tweaks. The real crazy stuff happens in here when you go into the HSL adjustments, and you can adjust the luminance and the saturation on individual channels. And when I got in here, I started noticing it appears you started playing with this, and that's perfect. Like you cranked up the blue saturation to bring in the sky, good move. You lowered the luminance or brightness of the blue, good move. Okay, and then I also noticed that in the hue you shifted the blue over here a little bit towards the purple channel to make it a better blue. Now you could have gone a little bit more, like the green. You could have pumped up the green a little bit. Okay, as far as saturation, you got a little bit greener greens. And then in the luminance, you could have darkened the greens. That would take your eye from down here off the bottom, down in here, and ram it back up to the face. And faces are always, Caucasian skin is always comprised of orange and yellow. In fact, all skin, unless you're on, planet Avatar, is composed of orange and yellow. So if in the luminance channel, if you take down the yellow, okay, see what's happening down here on the grass, and then take down the orange a little bit, you start recovering some lost skin that was not there. So you start balancing this skin a little bit better. Take the aqua down a little bit, take the blues down a little bit. Blue sometimes has purple in it too, so you can do that. Skin sometimes has a little bit of red in it, and so just be careful, because he can get weird looking if you go way down. So you just got to be careful how far you go. So that kind of gets that a little bit better recovered. Now the next thing you could do is go in here on the FX and do a post-crop vignette. And by doing that, you actually darken the sky a little bit more, and you darken that around the edges and in the grass, changing the midpoints a little bit so that it gets nice and even, changing the roundness so it's on the subject. Again, we're ramming our people into the subject. Change the feather. We don't want a hard line like that. We want a nice feather. Okay? Okay, and so we get it all in there. Now, we'll come back to where we started, and let's check our blacks somewhere right in here, starting to look really good. Checking our whites, still looking pretty good. You got to mess with that a little bit. Take the contrast. You don't want to be too contrasted. You don't want to be too flat. So we get that nice in the middle. Clarity, kind of crank that up just a hair bit. A little bit more on the vibrance and the saturation, just a hair, to make it a little more fun and interesting to look at. And just like that, I think you'll like what I did as far as getting this picture, a little bit more fun. You're trying to jam people into the face, of course, neat scene, neat water, nice little sunset thing going on, nice expressions on their faces and all this other good stuff. But you always want to ram people back into the face. And if the faces are just so blown out, then it's just not fun to look at. But anyway, nice job. Appreciate you sending me the picture to let me play around with it. I hope you like what I did. I'll send it back to you. Thank you, buddy.